they come to the party. We've got the Braunhaven deed. This is our land. They need to fucking talk to us.
Well, I mean, you don't have a deed to this property. You have a deed to Castle Braun, which is
Right.
who, and it's basically like a bearer's bond. Whoever holds the deed and signs the paper is the one who owns it. You basically just scratch out the names that were there previously and sign your name.
Right.
Is what the
Okay. Well,
document states. But I mean, you're not even sure, really. Uh, the Duke didn't really, I guess, technically own this property. Um, well, there more will come out about this.
okay.
But welcome to Braunhaven. Hello, Cameron. Welcome to Braunhaven. We will be picking up where we left off last week. These guys cleared out the secret cellar and saw that there was some, a little bit of devil worship going on down there, and they were making whites, and they came out, and they ended up getting into a fight with Lady Bernadette to find out that she's really a fey hag, and she was attempting to take a peasant that they had rescued from the cells downstairs, who they had sent, ahead of them to escape. And so after they put down Lady Bernadette, the peasant that she had in her possession tried to bite Jackson, and his mouth was impossibly big with full of teeth, and um, so yes, fun times. And they convinced this guard up here to surrender and basically join their side, although he's kind of creeped the fuck out by this peasant. But before we get started, we would like to thank one of the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They're just products that we really like. And today we would like to thank Speechless Bard. Speechless Bard makes beautiful leather products for your role-playing games, such as leather covers for your core rule books. She has a dice mat that when you roll it up, it looks like a spell scroll. She has this cool new thing. They are, I guess they're not really dice trays, but they're dice bags, but they are like a leather little purse type thing that come in different designs, and they've got, I think they have a strap on them, I'm not sure. But I mean, she does just absolutely fantastic work. One of her more popular items are her dice bracelets. They're a leather band that snaps shut around your wrist, and it's got cutouts of the different dice shapes, and you can customize it in a number of different ways. One of her more popular ones is called the Pride bracelet, where every dice is a different color. If you're going to order, and this is especially true if it's a gift idea, but even if you're ordering for yourself, you're going to want to give yourself a little bit of extra time because she is over in the UK, and so it takes a while for it to cross the pond and get over here. And we all know how U.S. Customs can be. So, yeah, order early and save yourself the grief of having to give a gift of a card saying, "Sorry, your gift's on the way." If you are a fan of the game and our channel, we do have a merch store via Zazzle, and we've got T-shirts and buttons, and there is a fleece blanket that is the map of the Gloucestian Empire on it. That, excuse me, comes in 3 different sizes, and we have a beer stein that makes a better coffee mug. Yeah, and 100% of the proceeds from that store go directly back into the channel. And so if you want to help us out, please go get yourself a t-shirt or a button, and we definitely appreciate it. If you are getting into the Braunhaven campaign setting, this is a great time because I am running a Labor Day weekend sale through Labor Day, and there are select titles that are on sale through the weekend. There are 2 PDF bundles. If you, and of course, this is if you don't want the print-on-demand books, but just want the PDFs. Those 2 bundles are on sale, and between those 2 bundles, I believe you have almost everything for the campaign setting and the main um, campaign that is going on. In fact, that we are playing through here. So those are both on sale. Save yourself a little bit of scratch, and so go get yourself a book. Next week, I will be going back and continuing work on the next adventure in the campaign series. This week, I spent working on the new RPG, Humanity Build Better Worlds. Made a lot of progress on that. But next week, I'm hoping to um, keep this momentum moving forward and make a lot of progress on the next adventure. So that is coming. I don't have an ETA as of yet, but it is coming. That and then of course the following week I will be working on a treatise of magic and spells by Maximilian Tacidantilus, which will have um, old and new spells. I've taken spells from multiple editions of the game and kind of compiled them. There are some entirely new spells, such as Mavis's Marvelous Visage, that will be in that book. And I'm probably putting in, well, I know that I will be putting in a whole bunch of magic items. And I am toying with possibly putting in an entire chapter on the planes of existence. Just kind of putting it all into one book. I'm not certain I'll do that yet. It depends on how much material I end up with for the planes, because that may end up having to be spun off into its own book. The planes can get pretty detailed. So
You know, it'd be a cool book. You could call it Tales of the Undead, and throw some necromancy shit in there and a whole bunch of undead, both lore, stat blocks,
yeah,
things like that. Maybe like a vampire hierarchy thing. Throw that in there.
well, and that
Uh,
that
I'm just,
actually may be a part of the planes, which is one of like the shadow plane. That's where you go when you die initially, and that, I mean, just some of the stuff that I'm coming up with for the shadow plane kind of could be its own book in and of itself. And so I'm really debating on should I do an overall book on the planes and then maybe do individual books for each plane, um, or I don't know. It just depends on how much
right,
stuff gets thrown together.
right.
But yeah, and there's all these like the Fey realm and the Shadow realm have a whole bunch of demi planes, and yeah, it's like a Russian nesting doll.
Yeah. Like the thing you say when you go up to the gates to try to get in, you'll walk up and there's these two guards there, and you'll be like, there's so many bones in the orc body. Would you like one more?
Yes, I've also been kicking around the idea of doing a monster manual for Braunhaven of all new monsters, but you know, for some reason, doing a bestiary or a monster manual intimidates me because there are,
Intense and art requirements.
well, yeah, there's that, but it's also just the sheer number that you have to do. I mean, you need to justify putting out another book. You need a lot of monsters, and I haven't created that many new monsters. And I'm having the same dread with Humanity Build Better Worlds, because there's got to be an entire chapter in that core rulebook of monsters or as we call them, allies, enemies, and creatures. And so I mean, that's a little intimidating because I got to create a whole shit ton. But the reality to that too is, and I keep having to remind myself, is that most new monsters aren't really that new. They are reskins of old monsters, and I mean, hey, that shit's been working for years for WotC. I mean, I might as well use the same the same formula and just reskin. But yeah, there is
So
artwork too.
I bought like a pretty recent Pokemon game.
Oh hell yeah!
Holy crap! They kind of ran out of ideas for Pokemon though, like
Yeah,
clearly. So
yeah,
you
they
don't want
did.
that to.
Well,
happened.
and I started to notice that they were running out of ideas for Pokemon. Oh man, probably about 10 years ago. Where
Yeah, I
you
didn't pay attention. It's like I watched like the original series and then I'm bought a game and I'm looking at the Pokemon going, what?
well the evolution part of it, that's where they
Yeah.
really started to run out of ideas, and you start seeing multiples, and you're like, well, wait a minute. Oh, it's the same as this other one. I've seen duplicates a number of times.
The card game's making a rather strong comeback.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, I have
I
noticed
mean,
that.
here locally, I know there's 2 game shops that are now doing a lot of Pokemon based events, and everybody knows that Central Arkansas is known for being up on time with things,
Yes,
and
yes,
and yes,
they're
and
at the
being welcoming
forefront.
and loving. Yeah, we are a loving part of the country. That's why we have so many hybrids around.
Yes, yes,
Sheep folk,
sheep folk. Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
man, bear, pig. That really we started making them way before South Park.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yes, grandpa uncles.
Well,
so so yeah. So where we left off, we were in combat, and we're starting at the top of the
Oh
round.
shit, we are?
Yeah, because this
we're fighting the last dude.
yeah, this peasant
Okay,
tried
I
to
did
attack
not remember.
Jackson, and unfortunately failed, because that was going to be the big reveal. But it is Borman's turn. So what does Borman want to do?
Fortunately failed.
Yes, well,
Unfortunately failed.
Right. So he's in melee combat with Jackson then.
yes, he
And
is this guy
yeah,
right
and I
there.
really can't justify a backstab, which is shameful, but I'll still stick in with my frost brand. It's probably the safest thing to do.
Yeah, so you
Just
can
kind
move
of,
on over there and stick him.
yeah, I'm gonna do that. As it's that guy right there,
Yeah, you could just
right?
yeah, right
Yeah.
there.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll just skate around there and I'm gonna attempt to do him harm. This will be +2, so 12. I don't know, man.
12.
That hits AC 5.
That hits.
Oh, well, then he's having a bad day. Yeah. So this will be +2. 9 points of what the fuck are you doing damage.
Okay.
I'll say that. What the fuck are you doing?
Okay. So, yeah, you run up with your frost brand and stick him, and like I said, his mouth. He looks like this frail older peasant farmer, but his mouth, his grin has gotten huge, like all the way to his ears, and his head opens up almost like a Pac-Man, and his mouth is full of teeth. The guard, the guard.
I would like to recommend him a good dentist.
So do we know what's wrong with him? Like,
Well, he's a fucking changeling or something. I mean,
is he
this is-
cursed or is he just is he made, like, was he originally messed up this way?
I was-
You're probably not sure. This is not something you
Okay.
guys have ever run into.
uh,
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
I do
fairly
have-
certain that once he tried to bite me, I don't care anymore.
right. Do we think he's undead?
No.
Okay, well,
I got removed curse, that's why I'm asking. Just
right.
in case. Just in case he's the original Duke or something.
Right. I just think if we remove his head, that would solve the problem.
Well,
What
I
if
mean,
you
that
remove his
usually
head and
fixes
then-
things.
And then he
Right.
goes back to normal, and then we just got the Duke's head. And
Well,
kind
that's
of
fine.
not what I want.
Well, the best way to replace the Duke is to remove one.
Okay. Yeah, probably not going to be thinking about that while he's fighting folks.
Right.
Anyone have chewing gum? You can go through.
Maybe a tic tac.
Your guard kind of lets out a bit of a shriek because he's never seen anything like this, and he is going to run over and try to swing on him.
Oh
Well,
wow,
good.
brave.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Well, he knows he will be one of the people that we let work at one of our estates and stuff.
If he lives.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I've got some shit I could give him and beef him up a little bit.
He hit.
I hope he lives. He's a witness that this is a creepy
Yeah.
thing that we had
I've
to
got
kill.
that +1 mace that I gave the last motherfucker.
He hits and deals a grievous wound.
Oh, sweet. Good job.
So that's not exactly. So yeah, he actually hits this peasant and slices him pretty good. And the peasant, well, he makes his morale check. He Oh, sure. Well, he is going to try to bite the guard.
Now he'll crit or some shit, and we're gonna lose another henchman.
Man.
They don't last long, man.
That's true. I don't know that he. Oh, maybe. No, he did not hit. The guard, he goes to try to bite the guard, and the guard kind of brings his sword up and blocks him, narrowly blocks him. And actually, I went out of order. The guard went before the peasant, but that is okay. Happening at the same time, we have Dentry. What would you like to do?
Gentry, let's see here. 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. I can get to, I think, here. So that's close enough to attack.
Yeah, you definitely can do
25
that.
feet.
Yes.
Alrighty. Let's do some attackage. And now that I'm engaged, everybody else gets a little more AC. Woohoo!
Yes.
This is good for all. Alrighty, so let's see here. I'm gonna attack with my bastard sword. I can't wait to get that level back.
Dude.
Roll. Yeah. 24 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Oh, I'm all about the killage right now, I think.
That is the best way to progress us in the game is to kill our enemies.
Yes.
I think. I've thought
well,
of
you
other
know,
strategies.
I definitely hit. I just didn't hit effectively. I only got.
What did you? How much did you do?
I did 6. A 1.
Okay,
And
well,
then
that-
5.
That is way more than enough. Dentry runs up and nearly slices this peasant in half, and the peasant
Mhm.
drops dead to the ground. And as the body hits the ground, you see yes, the peasant shape changes, and what is laying there in is essentially what looks like a humanoid that has had all of their skin removed. and you can
Ew.
just see like muscles and tendons attached to a skeleton.
Oh,
and
damn.
and Alora can roll under make an intelligence ability check. So you want to roll under your intelligence.
Okay, let's see how smart I am. Yeah, 14. 18, didn't make it.
Okay, so yeah, you guys have, and actually also Jackson can make an intelligence ability check.
Great. He's less intelligent than anybody else, I think. I think he's one of the dumbest people in our party.
Roll low then, man. You can do it.
Alrighty, come on. Give me an 8 or lower. I got to get under 8 or I got to get my score or lower.
Under.
Give me a 7. Come on. Give me a 7.
Oh, yeah, Jackson's like, what the fuck is that? One thing that you do all notice is that this creature on it's clearly a shape changer of some kind. On its finger, though, is Duke Bartholomew's signet ring.
Yoink.
Well, hey, I think this is probably some kind of fucked up experiment, magic thing. Let's deal with the other guards coming out the door and see what's going on there.
So the other two guards come out the door, and the initial guard, let me find him. Man.
Oh, now I roll a damn one. On accident.
Of course, that's what it always works. So the other guard tells them, don't stand down. These guys are friendly. We just put down a doppelganger. And the other two guards are like, they don't appear to care what this guy says. Do one of you want to attempt to intervene and try to bring them over to your side?
We probably should, yeah. We should do some posturing, and
we have someone who's literally skilled at this.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we should probably move our stuff in a more advantageous. If we're about to fight, if it's going to kick off, we really don't want the fleshies just. Well, I guess the cleric's not a fleshy.
This guy, I'm going to change his token so we know who he is.
Like, yeah, I just kind of walk over here a little bit. Yeah.
Alora has good charisma.
Yeah.
You could have her try and talk for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gentry should probably not be the one to walk up and be like, trust us.
Yes, right. Trust us or else.
But Boyman's just going to kind of get rather close to the other guy there. Kind of look at him. No, not menacingly or nothing, but he's got a lot of blood on him.
Yeah, all of you have quite a bit of blood on you.
Yeah.
We're pretty fucked if we don't get believed here, so I think I'm going to use the Marvelous Visage on Alora.
Okay.
So it's the first time I'll use it. It gives me like a +1 or something, doesn't it?
Hold on, I will tell
Jackson would like to
my own
distract
spell.
them while the spell is being cast so they don't see a spell being cast.
I think
You guys
it's a
going to go
+1.
collect that signet ring.
Let's see here. This book
Leave
is...
it there for a minute so they can see like there's a doppelganger.
Right.
So
we
don't know.
Take the ring off of it.
End result of or the official version, or what will be the official version of that spell says. Dun, 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 where is it? Here it is. So it is a level 2 spell. It will last for 20 minutes, or so 2 turns. You touch one willing creature. It ranges touch. The spell allows the cleric to bestow divine beauty and the ability to speak eloquently to the caster or the touch target creature. The recipient receives a +2 bonus to charisma ability checks for 2 turns.
Sweet. Okay, so I'll try and talk to these guys. Am I trying to roll under my charisma?
Yes, but you get to add 2 to your charisma.
Okay, cool.
So what does that make your charisma now?
It makes it 16.
So with a
So
16, where did my there they are. 16 gives you a plus. It's still a +1 to your
hmm,
it's a or, I'm sorry, it's a -1 to your roll.
okay. I rolled a 2. We
Nice.
didn't find any.
So
anyway.
yeah, Mavis goes over, touches Alora, and Alora basically calms these guys down, convinces them that she's on, that they're, we're all on the same side here. That there was a doppelganger in our midst, and the 2 guards tell you that, well, we are the last 3 guards here.
So our dude plus those 2 are the last 3?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Everybody else, Lady Bernadette came outside,
We
and
killed her.
Nestor Falcius went down into the cellar
We killed
to
him.
rally troops and figure out what was going on down there. And the guards essentially haven't really been told anything. These guys essentially do what they're told and collect their pay, and that is about it. The rest of the guards that were stationed in the manor, you have dealt with.
Are they willing to follow us and sign up for the Kingdom Braunhaven?
Um,
How do you feel about a stable paycheck
well,
Yeah.
so yeah.
that doesn't involve getting killed by monsters?
Maybe we should just like look for gold around here and give them a bunch and tell them like, good luck.
All the
you know?
copper.
Well, we need them
Give
to
them all the copper.
talk to these elven. We can set them up outside as a stop the elves or whatever. Cancel the banquet or whatever. We've killed everybody in there, right? As far as we're understanding, everybody we've run
That's
into.
what it
is
sounds
dead.
like from the guards. So as far as like an offer to join you guys, so the guards are unsure whether or not they want to join you, but they are openly saying. So essentially, what you learn from them is that all of these guys were conscripted. I mean, in the Unterland, we all joined the military from the ages of 13 to 28. At 29, we were executed. So these guys didn't really have a choice. They were conscripted, and they are not really too excited about going. Essentially, at this point, they would have to go back to the capital city of Glauschein, and of course, the first question would be is, why aren't you doing what you were supposed to be doing? And their answer of, well, we got our asses handed to us, and we're all that's left, is not going to go over very well for them.
Well, how about temporarily? Would they be willing to stand out here, and when elves and other people come by, inform them that their banquet's been canceled, and we will be out shortly to meet with them and discuss things.
Okay.
We are the new Braunhaven estate holders, and we have a whole bunch of shit saying we could be royals in some weird way.
So you've got what, two sets of keys? Well, you've got a ring of keys that probably worked down in the cellar. But one of the other things that you did get was a skeleton key.
Yeah. So
We did. We
there
got
anywhere we didn't look.
Yeah, you haven't been in most of the rooms. To be real honest, you're on the first floor so far. So
let's explore.
Yeah,
That sounds amazing.
Are there any dangers that you would know about as far as defensive? Are there statues that may come alive or anything that you know of?
So he does.
You're going here?
The guards do tell you that this right here, number 3, it is. Let me find it. What did I make that? So it is a stone golem, but it has to be commanded to attack, and there's nobody to command it. They're certainly not going to tell it to do anything.
What is the command word to make it attack?
Well, it there isn't a command word. It has to be one of the Duke's staff.
Okay.
So one of the guards, one of the chamberlains, one of the butlers or maids. That is about the lowest level of. And the stone golem. I mean, I don't want to say that it has an intelligence because I really don't. It's more like it is a construct, so it's more or less at the time of its creation, it was programmed, and it will basically attack anybody not on its kill list, so or not on its no kill list. So it won't attack members of the staff, but it would certainly immediately attack you guys.
Just
And
for going in there.
It's a stone golem, so
If commanded to attack.
if the guard there are probably some maids and butlers left around, but I take that back. It would be the people that could command it would have been the Duke, Bernadette, and Nestor, and the guards. And them being the only 3 guards that are left, they're not about to order it to attack. The maids and butlers and chamberlains, etc., there are still, household staff running around, or more likely hiding, because these people are barely above peasant status.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay.
I mean, they were probably paid, what, 1 gold piece a month
Right.
to work as staff.
Yeah. If that's the thing, then I think we should go back in and loot this place like it's fucking going out of style.
So the question then is, where do you want to go first?
What we want to start with?
We need people to carry loot at this point. We are already over.
Well, maybe let's get rid of all of our copper. Let's put it in like a big pile, and everybody that works here can just
guards, you're
fucking
paid
go
off.
eat it.
We've got
Yeah, that's something, man.
49,000 pennies.
Well,
There's 49,000
It's legal tender.
There's guys there outside. I mean, we have a wagon that's not far. I mean, in theory, the estate.
Yeah,
would have
there's a
some
wagon here. I mean, you could load up the wagon with copper pieces. I mean, well, and then okay, so now I have the question, and I shall look. Now my curiosity is piqued. Vehicles and animals. How much can?
I have a steed I can summon that'll carry 3,000.
So your wagon. How many draft horses did you get? Or do you have 4 draft horses or 2? I thought you only had 2.
That's
I
Brian.
thought it was 2.
Yes, we have 2 draft horses, and then each of us has a war horse now.
Right. So the wagon with 2 draft horses can only pull 15,000 coins worth of weight.
Well, I mean, and then they have a wagon here, so that's 2 wagons.
They have, yes, they
Wait,
do have a
aren't they
wagon, but
a
their wagon is not like your wagon. Their wagon is a coach.
Most of the stuff's in a bag of holding, right? In
Yeah.
the bag of holding.
Yeah, and the bag of
So that
holding is
doesn't
like
really-
filled to the point of bursting.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get everything all in one pile where we have the numbers all together, and then we can just kind of sort it all. You know what I mean? And whatever we're taking with us, we'll take with us, and we'll figure it out after we figure out what we got to move. I know we left behind a whole bunch of copper.
We could
down
also,
in-
I think,
in
pace the
floppy
staff
truck.
or give some of these 3 guards
Yes.
help these some of it to be like, look, your job now is to keep things as they are until we can go to the town and have the townsfolk hire some of them to come back and really properly loot this thing.
Yeah, we can tell the 3 guards to go down in the floppy cock temple and take all that copper for themselves. But they are now under our unemployment.
Yeah, I mean, nothing speaks louder than a sign-on bonus.
Yeah, lots of just go down in the flop. You got to pull the cocks and go down in there.
Because
And,
otherwise, we're gonna have to like find a way to carry all this back,
you
and we
know,
might find a whole crap ton more. We're already struggling with what we do have,
yeah, and
and there's
yeah,
probably a lot more.
and if
Maybe what we should do is look for a place to stash some things around here.
we
Like
could
if there's
stash it in,
secret rooms and stuff, we could
there's
put some
No,
shit
the
in
place
there.
where you stole the thing.
upstairs in dude's room. I know where the secret thing is for that.
Yeah, you could put some stuff in there.
And we
So
don't
I
have
can
to
tell
dig
you, I can
for
tell
it.
you what my Sunday group did. So they actually, so I have my home game of 10 to 12 players once a month, and their game sessions usually run 5.5 to 6 hours. They literally spent close to 3 hours, um, kind of coming up with a solution to the same problem that you guys are having. And what they came up with is I have a sneaking suspicion that one of them may have watched this channel. Because the first thing that they said was they don't want to invest a whole lot of money in the town of Braunhaven because they don't want to make obvious investments that everybody can see. And, you know,
Yeah,
that's a
very
good idea
important,
because, of course,
yeah.
the tax collectors are going to be like, where the fuck did you get all this money? And so instead of doing that, the first thing that they did is they went back into the catacombs, picked a room, and they have a dwarf with them, so this made it easier. They stashed a lot of their loot into one of the rooms down there, and basically bricked up the wall and made a secret door. So there was
Well,
that.
you know, if they do watch, I'm glad that you learned from our folly.
Yeah, yes, we
Yeah.
learned from their mistakes.
If you didn't go catfishing with the fucking sea serpent, you
They haven't
sucked.
made it that far yet, so thanks for
Oh,
ruining
then
it. So,
sorry.
well, and because they're difficult, they went into the catacombs in the reverse order. So,
Oh.
so it's all kinds of interesting.
Right.
But so then the other thing that they did was they had, of course, learned about that there's a village not too far. I think it's about 15 miles to the west. The village of Stagham. And so they went to Stagham and they purchased property. They basically bought a large house, I wouldn't say a manor, but it is a large house that they can kind of use as a winter home, and invested in that. And the benefit that they know about Stagham is that the Emperor Belusian Cestus does claim the Skelos Mountains as part of the Glossian Empire, but the reality is that the dwarves are certainly not going to pay tribute to the Empire. They have their own thing going on, and with the rugged terrain of the mountains, it is very difficult to march an army up in there, or even a large group of tax collectors and their guards and retinue with, treasure wagons, etc. It's very difficult to get through the mountains, and so the tax collectors that have gone into the mountains, they do occasionally make an attempt, but in a lot of cases, those guys don't come back. The
Right.
people that live up in the mountains, those are mountain folk, and
Right.
they've got their militias and whatnot up there, and things go
Right.
awry, and so a lot of these tax collectors never came back, and so for the most part, the Empire is just like, well, whatever. They couldn't possibly have that much money up there anyways. So
Why don't we
fuck 'em.
take the staff and stuff that we can salvage from here and send them over to the Braunhaven estate and start getting that place cleaned up?
Hmm,
And
maybe.
it's not as far. We'll
You
have
mean
our
over
wagon.
to the castle or to?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's still a spider in the kitchen that they gotta avoid. If we send anybody over there, they need to stay away
We
from that.
Yeah,
we
but
could
you
make
may, I mean, yeah, there's a spider in the east, or in the east guard wing that Alora, I believe, may have a I don't want to go.
Bond?
I don't want to go so far as saying a bond or a good
A
rapport with,
relationship?
but there is a relationship there because Laura didn't lie to the spider. It is a giant black widow.
You know,
There's
if
gonna
they
have
left,
some
Why don't we just give her
babies.
one of the towers and be like, look, this tower is yours. Please
yeah,
vacate this
we
area
might
and
need to
have that area instead.
we need to
Yeah, we
return.
probably could. That would
Yeah.
work fine with me.
Yeah,
Okay.
we could return and negotiate with the spider and start setting our, and then we'd have a place to kind of start setting our shit up again. We could loot this place and then worry about that though. I mean, primarily the tax collector's room is probably where a lot of treasure is.
There's probably cool information in there too. I want to
Yeah,
go there too.
So
that's where we're wanting to go look first.
I guess it's true. Let's figure out what we get here. Let's loot this place thoroughly, and then we can figure out what to do with what we
Yeah.
get.
yeah, so where you're on the ground floor, where do you want to look in here? The only place that you've really been is Area 2.
Yeah, I guess let's start with room 4. You know, and we'll just, if we get into combat, let's just assume that we're in our normal marching order, and we'll just set it up that way if that's okay.
Okay.
Instead of us all move, that way we don't all have to move our stuff.
So
And if we,
yeah, so room 4 is a conservatory. And hold on. So room 4 is a conservatory in here. Stop it. There. It's got polished hardwood floors, and the hardwood goes up like the bottom 4 feet of the walls. There is a mural on the ceiling that depicts angels that are on fire that are being kicked out of the heavens. There is red velvet furniture and polished tables. The chairs are like rolled velvet, high back chairs, very posh. And in here there is a harpsichord with ivory keys. Aside from that, there's not really a whole lot else in here. There is, of course, this back door that leads out into the front of the manor.
okay.
Does anybody know how to play music? I don't think I do.
No,
If
but
only we had a bard.
I mean,
Yeah.
in theory, if once we collect that thing and sell it, I mean that has value to us. Or we could have this place stripped and moved over to the castle. So I mean,
Do you think the elves want this place?
they might after we
'Cause
remove
I
what
don't
we
give
want.
a shit if they take it. Right?
Yeah, I don't
After we
really
get
care
it.
about the harpsichord either. To be honest with you, we'll search the place and see if there's any hidden stuff.
You can go ahead and roll a d6.
I'm just getting ahead of myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Yeah, anybody who wants to search room 4, you can do a search.
I got a 1.
Okay.
4 and 6.
So, was it Jackson or Dentry?
Gentry got a 1. Dentry got a 3.
So, Dentry basically goes over the conservatory with a fine-tooth comb, and even so far as going over the harpsichord, Dentry saying something about how he read in a book. We're not sure that Dentry can read, but
Dentry can read it. Jackson, they can't.
Oh, right. So Dentry said that he read in a book. There was like some mystery where it was probably like the Hardy Boys, and something was hidden in the harpsichord, and he goes over the harpsichord. You don't find anything in the conservatory.
Damn.
Well, all right.
Bird.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, let's skip. I know number 5's got stairs going up or down, so I guess we'll hit 5.
So 5 is the east tower base, and so there's a tower on either corner of this manor, and mostly dark granite. There is a wood staircase with the scratches of many boots have stepped on these stairs. It goes up to the next floor. But so who all is in area 5?
I would be the first one through the door, so Yeah, Malachi would not be.
I want to go to my token first. Here we go.
Okay, and what about Dentry?
Yeah,
I'm
we're
missing
going.
it. Where's Jackson?
Jackson
Yeah,
is
we're-
reluctantly going back inside. He's like, and we're going back inside buildings
Yeah,
again. Damn it!
Where did Jackson go?
You killed Jackson. Why
Perhaps
did you kill Jackson?
I don't know.
Man,
Okay, where is Jackson? Here's Jackson.
we really liked him. He was good.
Where's
He was a
Jackson?
good guy. Yeah.
He was outside, being one with nature again. Like, wait, we're going back inside. Oh, fine.
Yep. So Dentry's going into the room too?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Everybody roll a d6.
For traps, I guess I should have said traps. But
A
whatever.
4 and a
Four.
6.
Okay.
I got a 6 and a 3.
You got a 6 and a 2?
A 3.
Oh, okay. All right. So nobody is surprised. So in this little alcove where the star is, there is what appears to be a statue, and it is an 8-foot tall wooden statue. Well, the stone statue is sitting on a wooden pedestal, and it's this grotesque figure. What does it looks like? Yeah, it is a hideous horned winged statue, and it comes to life. It is a gargoyle.
Of course it is.
Everybody can roll initiative. Ugh. What did Malachi get?
Okay. Malachi got a 2 and Borman got a 3. Sorry, Borman got a 4 and Malachi got a 2.
And what did Alora get?
2.
And Mavis?
A 2 also.
And Dentry?
3.
And Jackson?
3.
Okay. So, and the gargoyle got a whole whopping 2. So you see this statue move out of the corner of your eye, Borman. What do you want to do?
I'm going to run over and stab it with my sword.
All right.
That's what I'm going to do. Oop, nope, I don't want to do that one. There we go. That will hit. That's a 15. That hits AC 2.
That hits.
All right. Nine points of magic frostbrand damage.
Okay. So, yeah, Borman starts this combat with a pretty grievous hit, and the statue opens up and lets out a shriek. Cha-cha-cha. What's Dentry doing?
Dentry's doing what Dentry does, running over, saying not to be outdone by all of that stuff that Borman just did. Nah, man, nah. See, look here. You think you could attack, but let me show you what I can do. And watch him just do something amazing right now. It's going to be amazing, whatever it is. No, I said click. You click, damn you. Aha.
A 5.
23 to hit.
23. Nice. Yes, that hits.
Damn straight. For 7 points of damage.
Okay.
That's not bad, though. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a lot of damage. I mean,
So this gargoyle is now has a almost perfect cross carved into its chest. What is? I mean, you can outside the room, you can hear this thing shriek. What is Jackson doing?
Jackson's like, "Ugh, you guys would get into trouble, wouldn't you? Runs his happy ass in with all the movement that he has. To here. Hold on. Here. From
Okay,
like
so
above it on the stairs.
you're heading up the stairs.
Oh, can I not? As the stairs like closed off?
So no, they're not closed off. They are higher though. So the first set of stairs goes up 10 feet. You are probably about 15 feet up above this gargoyle, and so 9, 10, 11. So you're 7 feet over the head of this gargoyle.
Wonderful.
But you got the long pulley sticker.
That's true.
I do have the long pulley sticker. Would the long pulley sticker let me hit?
Yeah, I would
I
say
should
so.
have come back down. Okay, cool. I was like, do I have to come back down? I just got up here, man. What the hell?
Oh, I'm sorry, not 10 feet. Wait, 5. So actually, you're only about 3 feet above that because these squares
okay.
are 5-foot squares.
Okay. So I could hit with whatever I want then.
Yes.
Okay. Then in that, what the wrong mother effing helps when I click the right thing.
Yep. I found that too.
Right? It's just strange how that works. All right, well, I'm going to attack with the Vorpal sword. Maybe I'll get lucky and just behead it. Does a 16 do the job?
And you're Thaco 17, right?
I am.
That would hit. Yes, that is AC 1.
Marvelous. Vorpal sword to the rescue. Aha! 10
Ooh.
damage.
Okay, so Jackson runs past you guys up the stairs and brings his Vorpal down, and he doesn't lob the head off, but he buries it in the top of the gargoyle's head, and the gargoyle falls over and crumbles to the floor.
Wonderful.
This place is almost as bad as that other place. I say these buildings are all the same. Things keep trying to kill us.
Yeah.
I like nature. And then I walk back down the stairs.
So they're in this room in the northwest corner. There is a table that was set up and a number of chairs. And around this, on top of this table is a pile of coins. And it appears that and there are some bone dice. And it looks like the guards were playing a dice game when the shit finally hit the fan.
Foreman will take the dice and put them on his character sheet.
Okay, yeah, you have a pair of bone dice.
Oh.
Well,
I was gonna play bones with Borman real quick. Like, hey, you want to play one round real quick?
I just thought we were scooping shit up.
No, I'm teasing.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try to gamble with these and steal stuff later.
So the pile of coins on the table is 525 silver pieces.
525 silver. Got it.
Okay. Where are you guys going from here?
I mean, if we're just gonna kind of go around, I do want to look for traps as we're entering in places, but I'm gonna try to use keys to unlock doors if they're locked.
Okay.
But I want to make sure that I actually look for traps, so we don't get surprised on something stupid.
Right.
We're going to number 6.
Okay.
We're just going to kind of clear this out real quick.
So this door is locked.
We use the keys.
Okay, so it takes you use the skeleton key. I would imagine that would be your first choice. And it fits in the lock and click, unlocks the door. And this is the Duke's study. And
Wonderful.
It is quite posh. Polished hardwood floors, white plaster, and polished wood beams on the 15-foot ceiling. There's a large crimson red floor rug that has the Glaustian imperial crest in a bright gold brocade in the center of the rug. The bookshelves are all polished. They contain a ton of books on them. And there is a polished wood desk, and there are a number of papers and maps and books that are open or bookmarked on that desk.
Well, we need to.
Rifle through it for sure. Like all
Yeah,
the birds, Malachi and Aurora and Mavis.
yeah. We definitely need to look this place over really good. I want to do a quick trap check if that's okay around the room.
Sure.
You know, in theory, I'd find traps. You know, if there were any, especially like in the bookshelves and the desk and all of that.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead and roll for your trap check.
all right, I got 5, which that should get it. 6 is my fail.
Yeah. So no, you do not find any traps in here. So I will. What is Borman doing? I mean, so Borman was searching for traps. What is Alora doing?
Looking through the book.
Okay. How many turns are you going to spend? I mean, there's a lot of books here. How many turns are you going to spend
We need
looking
to
at the
check.
bookshelves?
This is an important area. I think we ought to take our time and look over. I mean, this is the brains of the whole operation here. This is not like it's a crew quarters or something, you
So
know?
one turn is 10 minutes. So how many turns do you want to take looking things over?
At least 2. Maybe more if
Yeah.
we don't find anything in the 2.
Okay, and
Yeah.
so this will probably also count as your 10-minute rest break.
Just reading.
Hold on.
But yeah, I mean, we want to look at every book and we want to look at the drawers of the desk and underneath rugs and behind curtains if there's any. I mean, this room. I mean, if there's going to be a secret stash of really cool shit, this would be one of them.
Probably it.
Yeah, maybe
Or
we should.
it'll tell us what they were planning, if they were planning anything. Like, why are
Yeah.
their maps out?
So Mavis, you spend a couple of turns looking through the bookshelves. Roll a d6.
I got a 1.
Ooh, okay. You find a couple of spell scrolls.
That is nice.
So the first spell scroll, I need to find it because I don't even remember what this does. You find a spell scroll of Wizard Eye.
What the heck is that?
That's a magic user spell.
Looks
can't-
like it is a 5th level magic user spell.
Is anybody a magic user?
No, so I'm.
It is so this spell, an invisible magical eye is conjured that allows the caster to see at a distance. The eye can be directed to move within range at up to 120 feet per turn. It will last 6 turns. It has a range of 240 feet. It can be moved within a range at up to 120 feet per turn. By concentrating, the caster can see through the eye. The magical eye grants both normal vision and infravision, and solid barriers block its passage, but it can pass through a hole or space as small as 1 inch in diameter.
So that's Wizard Eye, 5th level Wizard Eye.
Yes.
All right, I've got it with my spells of shit we've got to deal with.
The
Okay.
other spell is a cleric spell scroll
That automatically goes to Mavis. So
of
cool.
remove curse.
Cool.
And I'm sure Mavis already knows what remove curse does.
Yes.
Now, since this is a spell scroll, it is not the reversed version, so you can't use the scroll to curse. It's only for remove curse.
All right.
What is Mavis doing?
Looking at the map on the desk.
Okay, so the map. About the map. Yep. Yes. this is the map on the Duke's desk. Oh, let me zoom that out. You might have to zoom out as well.
Mm.
So you can tell by looking at this is a rough map of the area that you are in, and this is where you are at. This is the manor.
The only, I mean, we already know of that little town around the corner, right?
So this over here would be Castle Braun.
Yeah.
And of course, this forest is all, it is the Sylvanus forest.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any marks or anything on it?
Well, yeah. So the castle is actually marked with an X.
Hmm. I
On
wonder
the
where that is.
on the back of the map are some notes, and they are written in Handeln, which is common. Bring us back out. And in Handeln, it in common, it is written that the vault is at the bottom of the or at the in the lowest point of the castle, and it says that it is believed that the one of the keys to Tassadantalus's prison is located there.
We have that key.
Ooh.
In theory now. I mean, I'm not DM talking, but I mean, I'm really thinking because he's referring to some shit we've already cleared, and we got a key from there. Correct?
You didn't find a key in the vault at the bottom of Castle
No,
Braun.
we found that
you found the
rod.
the hooked scepter.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
I
gotta
mean, you've
be
already
it.
hinted that that was a key.
Well, I said it was magic. It showed an aura of magic, but you could never discern what it did.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I do get rather imaginative sometimes with what you give me.
Well, I mean, you didn't find
Well, we have a
anything else
clue
down there.
now.
I mean,
Yeah.
aside from a minor vampire, you didn't find anything else in the vault.
All right. Well, this is good information.
Definitely.
Did you look through the drawers and shit on the desk? Or
I
is that-
didn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what's
Go for it.
Dorman doing?
Oh, he's going to look through the drawers on the desk.
Okay. So you find a note, and it is written in Malum chaotic.
Oh shit! Does anybody know that?
Actually, that is Malachi comes. Oh, I love this language. It's beautiful and eloquent, and he knows it. The chaotic is what has been assigned as the necromancer thing. Is that right?
Well, it is the
Okay.
chaotic alignment language.
Ooh, no, then I'm not. I'm not chaotic. Mm-mm.
Crap. Is anybody?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody.
If
knew.
anybody knows, if anybody knows the read languages spell, that could be cast.
Oh. Oh, I do have read languages as a scroll.
Oh, well, there you go. This is all you. If you want to
Bam.
use that scroll up and you know.
Okay, so
Still, yeah,
so Mavis casts read languages,
it erases the scroll.
and
Man,
this
it's
is
good to use that shit up.
probably need to
Yeah.
zoom out, but this is the note in the desk.
Ooh. Let's maybe we should make make note of what this says in common or something.
So
on there.
one, if I believe, let me double check this, but I believe.
The heir to the Braun family. Okay, who out of all that we've read into of these corpses and tombs and shit of the Braun, who was the last one? We've come across their corpse, have we not?
We thought so.
So
Maybe there's something we don't know.
You haven't run across any heirs to the Braun family.
No, that's not what I'm saying. The last actual one that was ran the last Braunhaven ruler. We've come across their.
Well, yeah, but I mean they've been dead for hundreds of years.
Yeah, but all I'm wanting is part of their corpse.
Well, you found them in their tomb like ages ago. They were in the catacombs.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm saying is I can cast Malachi's Magnificent Memorial, and we can talk to the last descendant in the thing and ask them who their fucking kids might be.
That's pretty cool.
They wouldn't know though.
Oh, okay.
They'd know the.
If there were any of their kids alive when they died, that's all that they would know. They wouldn't know if their kids had any grandkids. They wouldn't know about those kids' grandkids. I mean, you're talking about, a little over 200 years.
All right, fair enough. Well, this is still cool. And who's this? Have we Emperor Festus? Yeah.
And you also know that this note was, that Lady Bernadette had referred to Duke Bartholomew as Beatrice.
I do know that, but we killed Beatrice.
You killed the peasant.
We killed the hag lady too.
Yeah, that's Bernadette.
Oh, okay. So Beatrice is still in theory running around?
You don't know.
Well, we can't account for Beatrice.
Right.
Okay. But we've accounted to all the others.
Yes.
Beatrice is whoever killed the Duke then. So that's good to know. So if we encounter them, we can say, you killed the Duke.
We'll keep this note. I'm gonna title this evidence note, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. And I'll can I have a
Exhibit A?
Yeah.
Well, I have a general note on
you want a copy of that? Yeah. So I just went ahead and marked it. If you go over on the right hand side, if you click on images.
Got it. Yeah. You got me, man.
You can say
thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's important that we be able to find this.
Absolutely. And we wrote down what it says in common, right? So that we don't have to, because read languages will wear off. So.
Yeah, but once we do it, once you read the language, you can always read it again.
Oh, for real?
That was read magic, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that's a different lore.
So,
all right, well, is that
under the desk? Borman's boot bumps into a lockbox, an iron lockbox.
Well, we need to look for traps on it.
Okay.
I would think. Oh, in theory, I'd find any traps, and then we'd find out if it's locked.
It is not trapped. It is locked, however.
Do any of our keys fit it?
No.
Then we
all right, time to ring that chime.
Oh, okay. You can ring the chime if you want, or I can pick it.
I'll ring the chime.
Okay. Dang it.
So you ring the chime, and the lock clicks open. And inside you find 1,200 gold pieces.
Holy crap.
Haha.
And I'm doing the math as I'm doing this.
Oh yeah, I love these because it means Brian has to write that shit down and not me. I'm all about let's fuck the magic items, you know, and the gems, fuck them, you know, scrolls. No, just we're only going after gold targets.
There are
I
500.
stepped away for a second, so I caught the 1,200 gold. Was there anything else I missed right before that?
Nope.
Oh, no.
500
Okay, cool.
electrum pieces.
500 electrum.
Let me double check.
I am
That's
keeping
pretty
all this
hefty
separate from
tab.
the regular loot because we are maxed on our regular loot. So I am keeping like a separate tab.
Thank you.
Uh,
We're just gonna have to load a wagon down and I've got a spectral horse I can bring forward, you know, to carry a bunch of shit, and we can maybe put bags on the war horses for more. I mean, there's still a lot of math we can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's
And
a
I'm sure there's
coach.
more horses around this place.
Oh hell yes.
and there is 2,000 silver pieces
Got it.
Nice.
and 3,000 copper pieces.
Got it.
Nice, yeah. We'll all touch it and pick it up and drop it one time just to get the experience for it, you know.
Yeah. everybody touch a gold piece or
Yeah.
a coin.
Yeah. Mhm.
And that is everything in this room.
All right. Well then, same song, different verse. Room 7.
Okay.
If it's trapped, I hope I found it. I rolled a 3.
No traps. You find that this room is a library. Polished
Whoa.
hardwood floors. There is a cream plaster and polished wood beams. And again, all polished bookshelves. The bookshelves run floor to ceiling, and the ceiling in the library is 15 feet tall. And there's a brass ladder on rollers that you can roll around the room so that you can get to the books on the taller shelves. Again, there's red velvet high-backed chairs with cushioned couches and for furniture, and there is a polished wood and stained glass bar, and there are several decanters of various liquors, a rack of tumblers and wine glasses. There's a wine rack and a pipe stand full of meerschaum pipes, and in the middle of the pipe stand is a tobacco jar.
Wow.
Does anybody say anything out loud about this stuff, or is this just what they see inside?
This is just what Borman sees as he steps into the room.
Yeah. But I'll look for traps real quick. I want to look around, not finding any traps at all.
Yeah, no, you don't find anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are a shit ton of books in here.
Yeah, so I'll say, book alert, it's a library, and there's pipe tobacco. We can smoke and drink and be merry in here.
Drink, you say? Gentry comes in, grabs a random bottle, walks back out.
So, as you guys are kind of poking around in here, and I mean, there are so many books in here, it would take you an hour, literally 6 turns to thoroughly search this place. But as you guys are poking around in here, you hear a very small voice coming from the bottom of one of the bookshelves, and he comes out, or this voice comes out and says, "Oh, I didn't see any of you come into the room. Would you like to stay for a spot of tea?"
What kind of tea?
So you look
What's
down
this?
and you see a small, and when I say small, about 2.5 feet tall. And you've seen these creatures or heard about them before. They are not unknown in the Braunhaven region. It is a ratling, and ratlings are fey folk from the fey realm that have many of them have crossed over into the prime plane, and um, he speaks with a heavy Gernvold accent, which is the language of the region. And he is holding a small little saucer and a teacup. And you can see that at the bottom of the bookshelf there's a small, like a well, not small, much larger than what you would normally see, but it looks like your typical mouse hole, from like Tom and Jerry at the bottom of the bookshelf, and this is where he has come out of, and he's got some tea. Oh, I can go get you some more. I can go get my pot of tea if you would like some.
I don't know, man. I mean, this is kind of the bad guy's home.
True. Um,
Jackson will be brave.
okay.
Okay, and so he hands Jackson this tiny teacup. I mean, Jackson has to hold it with a forefinger and thumb to drink from it, and it is a nice hearty like chamomile tea. Um, nothing to be worried about. And the rattling starts to kind of chat with Jackson, saying, basically telling you a little bit about. He says that the Duke, and when he says Duke Bartholomew, he kind of shudders, and he says, "Oh, that Duke and his fiancée, they are terrible people, terrible people. Luckily, they never found me. I didn't want to ever move out of my home." But he tells you that he says that yes, they had set up shop here. They were trying to find the keys to open Tassadentalus's prison.
What's in there?
Who's
Oh.
Tassadentalist?
Oh, who's Tassadentalus?
That's a wizard.
Tassadentalus, Maximilian Tassadentalus, the greatest archmage to have ever lived. And so he tells you a little story. And his story is that many moons ago, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when he tells you Tassadentalus was born in the small town or village of Reef's End, just north of where the Imperial Port is now, and that he was a brilliant child, and he was speaking in full sentences by the age of 3, and taught himself to read magic by the age of 4, and by the age of 8 he was already an accomplished magic user. And at a young age, as an adolescent teenager, he decided that he wanted to go out and see more of the world, and so he left the village of Reef's End behind, and kind of traveled around the Braunhaven region a bit, and ended up forming in his early 20s, forming an adventuring party. And the adventuring party consisted of, and I need to open another book. Dun, dun, dun. I need to open it because these names are kind of important. Considering that
So maybe that's where we go next, is to go to open up dude's tower and fun and frolic.
Considering that I wrote it, it's a little embarrassing that I can't remember all the names.
We need a magic user before we go there, though.
That could be something you could look into. Where is it? So he forms this adventuring company, and members of the company was Nathram Ston, who is you know that um, the current king of the dwarf capital city in the Skellis Mountains is Kamenston, and evidently Nathram was the first cousin of King Kamenston. And another member of the adventuring party was um, Reliver Braun, one of a member of the Braun family. And so, and then the third member or fourth member of this party was a very mysterious magic user named Vuslux. And
That name we know.
yeah, they traveled and they had many adventures. And he says, "Oh, their tales could fill this entire library of all of the adventures that they had." He says most of those stories are complete bullshit, though. Because it happened so long ago. Who knows what's true and what's not? But what is known is that eventually the magic user Vuslux kind of showed his true colors, and the party started to realize more and more that Vuslux was probably more on the chaotic side of things, and um, Tassadantalus had a vision or a foresight, and he knew that it was going to come down to a battle of magics between him and Vuslux. He knew that Vuslux was going to screw him over, and so he created an extra dimensional space. And the only way to get into this extra dimensional space, he put it in his tower at the Imperial port at Tassadantalus's tower. And the only way to get in was to have these two keys. And the first key is the hooked scepter. And the other key is supposed to be a looped scepter. And when you find the entrance to this extra dimensional space, you can put these into a very tall statue of Anubis, and it will open the door to his extra dimensional prison. And the rattling tells you that that eventually there was this great magical battle in the tower between Vuslux and Tassadantalus, but Tassadantalus didn't know Vuslux's true demeanor. He didn't know that Vuslux was in all reality an archdevil. And this caught Tassadantalus by surprise, and he was flung into. So the first thing that Tassadantalus did before this fight was he gave the staves or these rods to. He gave the hooked scepter to Relivar Braun and told him, "You need to stash this and hide it in case something happens." He gave the loop scepter to Nathramston and said the same thing. And so the party kind of disbanded and they all went their separate ways. You have found the hooked scepter. Nobody knows where the looped scepter is. It would be assumed that it went up towards the capital city of Zlatoheim, up in the Skellis Mountains. That was probably its last known location.
So that would be where we need to go next.
And he tells you that there was this great magical battle where finally Vuslux shows his true self, and in order to escape certain death at the hands of an archdevil, Tassadantalus stepped into his extra-dimensional space, and the portal closed for the last time. And this was, maybe 900 years ago, and nobody's heard from Tassadantalus since. It is assumed that he is dead.
Well,
but now, evidently, and I mean, this is
different.
not the rattling speaking, but you guys evidently have evidence that the Emperor is searching for these scepters.
Yeah, we knew we got that part, I guess. Uh, all right. Well, that was a lot of good information.
We just
Is
saw the rattling that we killed the people we scared of, though, so it doesn't have to be.
Oh, that's so good. I don't have to hide in my hole anymore. I can actually move about.
There's
is
a
We
couple
don't know where the
guards,
Duke is, so
but
tell him that.
He
yeah,
holds
we
up
don't
his
know who
he
Duke
holds
is.
up his little teacup and he goes, "Would you put a spot of that booze in here?"
Of course, let's pour some out. Our
also,
rattling friend.
yeah. Tell him that we're going to refurbish and rebuild the Braunhaven Castle Estate. He's more than welcome to go there and set up in a room. He'll be protected as we develop and bring peace to this area.
Oh, I look forward to all of that. Most definitely.
Yeah.
And
This-
so he kind of settles up and he says, "Oh, you might want to spend some time looking around in here. There's a lot of books. I've read most of them."
Oh,
what
cool.
any kind of books would you suggest
And
that we look at?
he points up at the top shelf, and you see that there is a a red leather bound book that's like partially pulled out. And he says, "That one up there is very interesting."
We
All right,
want to get
get
that.
it.
Yeah. And we want to look at that book.
So you climb up the the ladder, and you find this book is titled Magica in Arcanum. And thumbing through it, it is a treatise. It is written by Maximilian Tacidantilus. It is a treatise on the creation of new arcane spells. So this book, a week spent reading this book, will give you insight into the creation of a new spell of your choice, cutting the price of creating that spell in half.
That seems like a thing for Malachi, right? I think he would be
Yeah.
most interested.
I can take my half week doing this, and you can get your cleric level by studying your book. I mean,
At some point, yeah.
yeah, that's two things. It's very hard to explain why we wouldn't cash in on that, especially because we're getting levels now. So that free level bonus. I mean, that's a very big deal.
I'm pretty close to. Am I close to level up? I thought I was. Let's see. I
I
was
mean,
gonna
you
wait.
know,
Oh no, I'm not. It would be worth it at this point, I think.
Yeah, that's
All right, soon,
that
soon.
that yeah. So all right, yeah, I've got that book. That's really cool. Any other books that we should?
So you guys spend the next 5 hours combing through the books, and you do find some other books. You find the Diary of Captain Jorgen Braun.
Ooh.
Jorgen Braun was basically, according to what this diary says, is kind of the black sheep of the Braun family. And it is known, according to this, that he operated as a pirate in the Dragon Sea. And the diary details the location of an island far to the south in the Dragon Sea, where Jorgen claims to have made his lair, and there is a treasure map 5.
Oh yeah.
And, oh boy, I'm going to have to brush up on my, let's see here. I'll tell you what
And
number.
who's writing down treasure map 5? Should I do it?
I've got it in the bag of shit I've got to deal with. I've got another treasure map 5 that is somewhat close to here at that little village.
And a
just
treasure
around the
map
corner.
8.
Oh, this is a treasure map 5 and a treasure map 8.
Yes.
Wow.
That
Cool.
treasure map 8 is the shit. I bet.
Malachi, roll a d4.
D4. Ooh. Okay. A 3.
Okay, so
I now have 3 penises.
yes, just from reading the book.
Surprise.
Oops. Actually, wrong book. Ow.
I think I might multi-class Malachi into magic user.
So roll a percentage.
Okay. Force. Oh, I don't know. 97.
97. Oof. Oof. Okay. So you find a 6th level spell scroll.
Is this a necromancer one?
Roll a d6.
Two.
No, it is a magic user spell. You find a 6th level spell scroll of Invisible Stalker.
That should be a necromancy spell.
Right.
Yeah.
So the duration is 1 mission, so 1 entire quest. It's how long this thing will stay, and it is summoned to the caster's presence. An invisible stalker, see below, is summoned to the caster's presence and magically bound to perform a mission of the caster's. Okay, so it will last as long as you tell it to do something, and it will go until it either is killed or completes that mission. The caster must be careful with the wording of the mission. Invisible stalkers are treacherous, and unless the assigned mission can be easily and quickly accomplished, will follow the letter of the command while twisting the intent. The creature is bound to attempt the mission until it succeeds or is destroyed. A dispel evil will banish an invisible stalker, ending the spell. They are highly intelligent magical creatures summoned from another plane of existence, probably the shadow plane, to perform tasks for powerful magic users. It has 3 AC, 8 hit dice.
See, I'm thinking I really do need to go multi-class with Malachi. We need these magic. We got too many magic users. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, this stuff here instantly kind of. If I just become a magic user on the side, I can at least cast some of this shit once.
So this is the other thing. An invisible stalker has surprise on a 1 through 5 unless the target can detect invisibility.
See,
and it can track without fault. It doesn't even have to roll. It automatically tracks. So, I mean, these things are kind of wicked. It does 44 damage with an attack. And has a THAC0 of 12. So,
okay.
That was the first one. Roll your next one.
Or they didn't use that on us, you know?
Yeah, no shit. So I'm rolling another percentile. Is that what I wanted?
Yes.
20.
This is and roll a d6.
4.
This one is an illusionist spell.
Okay.
It is a 1st level illusionist spell.
Okay.
Again, wrong book. It is a spell scroll of hypnotism. So duration is 1 round plus 1 per level. Has a range of 30 feet. The caster's gestures and droning syllables open the minds of one target or more subjects within range to a hypnotic suggestion that is uttered as part of the spell casting. Up to 1d6 creatures are affected. The number of creatures affected is determined after the suggestion is made. The suggestion must take the form of a short phrase, at most 1 or 2 sentences, suggesting a course of action to the subjects. A language that is understood by the subjects must be used. A suggested course of action that is obviously harmful to a subject causes the spell to automatically fail for that subject. Each subject may save versus spells to resist the hypnotic suggestion. If the save fails, the subject will follow the caster's suggestion for up to the duration of the spell. And a suggestion that is worded in such a way to make it sound very reasonable incurs a -2 penalty to the saving throw. Undead are not affected by hypnotism.
Oh, cool. That's another crazy off-class spell that we can barter and trade with.
Mavis, roll a d4.
All right. 2.
You find two divine spells.
Oh, cool.
So the first one, roll percentage.
97.
Ooh. And roll a d6.
5.
Okay. This is a witch spell.
Oh, cool.
Witches cast as divine, don't they?
I don't know.
That's a good, let me look. That's a good question.
They're charisma based.
Are they? I thought they were. Let's see here. They might be their own thing too. I mean, this is the witch.
There's stuff about ritual.
And witch magical research, patron disfavor, witches must write formula for their spells in the spellbook. Unlike magic users, a witch does not memorize these spells. Once a witch knows a spell, they can call upon any spell at will a certain number of times per day. Okay. So I guess it's not. So with a 5, it's going to be a cleric, or I'm sorry, a druid spell.
I'll write the druid spell down in the fucking.
And it is.
Someday I can cast druid spells. Someday.
It is a 5th level druid spell.
It's a nice one.
Long until I can cast druid spells.
I think that witches might be able to do that as like a ritual spell casting.
Probably, yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
So it is
Okay.
a druidic scroll of Wall of Thorns. It will last 1 turn per level, range of 80 feet. So in this case, it would be the minimum amount, minimum level, I think 7 for druids to cast, or yeah, maybe 7 for druids to cast 5th level spell. Barrier of tough, thorny plants is conjured at a point of the caster's choosing. The wall can be any size up to 1,200 square feet and may be shaped in any manner and to any dimension the caster desires. For example, it may be a straight wall or curved into a protective circle. Any creature standing in a spot where the wall is conjured suffer damage equal to 1d8 plus their AC score. Creatures may push through the wall but suffer damage equal to 1d8 plus their AC score for every 10 feet. If using the optional rules for no, we never run that. Hacking through the wall is possible and does not inflict damage on those breaking through. It takes 4 turns to chop through a 10-foot section. And the wall is unharmed by normal fire, but magical fire will burn it away completely in 2 turns. And Mavis can.
I only need another 130,000 experience to be able to use that.
Only.
Well, I've got the list of all the druid spells that we're kind of accumulating. There's a few of them.
Once I get to level 8, I can cast a druid spell.
And Mavis, roll another percentage.
Right. 4.
So this is a 1st level. Roll a d6.
6.
Okay, so this is going to be another druid spell. And it is a 1st level druid spell. This one is a spell scroll of Detect Danger. So this one, the spell lasts for 6 turns if you're outdoors. If you are in a dungeon or otherwise indoors, it is 3 turns. And the range is 5 feet per level. Caster can concentrate to detect dangers within range. Scanning a 10 by 10 foot area takes 1 turn. Scanning a creature takes 1 round. Scanning a small object like a chest, weapon, or whatever takes 1 round. Larger objects take longer. After scanning, the caster knows whether the area, creature, or object poses a danger to their person. This knowledge distinguishes between immediate dangers and potential dangers.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. They're starting to get a big collection of druid spells too.
So, the last book that is found by Alora, and this book is named Pontificus Divinitas.
Mm.
And it is a large tome. I mean, it's a big book. And it's got, the brass clasps on it and the whole 9 yards. It looks like a big Bible. But it speculates on the ecology of the original plane of existence of the 12 known gods. And there is a kind of, I don't know if it's a map. Yeah, it's kind of a map of the planes.
That's cool. I can see why we spent hours in here.
And that map looks like this. And it kind of lays out how the planes interact with one another. And basically anything that touches the veil can end up in any of these planes. Is essentially what this book says.
Mm.
And that's all.
We're on the Earth.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We're on the Earth plane, I assume.
You're actually on the prime plane.
Oh, okay.
The plane of Earth would be the elemental plane, and then of course there's air, water, and fire.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, never mind. We're on the prime one. Okay. We're all enveloped in veil.
Yes, and the veil kind of orbits around the prime plane and connects most of the other planes to the prime plane. The only ones that aren't directly connected to the prime plane, of course, are the demi-planes off of the Shadow and Fey realm, and then the Unknown realm, which is way off on it, doing its own thing in the astral plane, and is this book theorizes that the Unknown realm is unknown for a reason because it is a spooky, scary place.
And the abyss.
The abyss is actually a plane off of the 9 hells, and it was basically carved out by the demon lords. So most people, and this is a far more realistic view than the one that you find in, say, like the Forgotten Realms or the D&D cosmology, is that most people do not make a differentiation between demons and devils. Even high-ranking church members don't usually make a differentiation. Usually, though, if, like, say, during an exorcism, and you see this all the time in the movies, if it is a super powerful named creature, it is usually a devil. But demons are usually not. So demons are used as more or less frontline kind of shock troops by the devils. They are known for just wanton destruction and massive chaos, whereas the devils are a little bit more sadistic and alluring and seductive about it. They will use you against yourself. They will twist your words and turn friends against one another and things of that nature, whereas demons will more likely just rip you apart and eat you. Or sow chaos and destruction simply for the reason of sowing chaos and destruction. They find joy in that. But that is what you find all in the library.
All right. Good time to move on.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess what we're gonna get jumped in room 8.
Have we done 9 and 10?
No, we haven't.
Do we want to do 8?
It's just another guard tower.
Did we go up
Probably.
the tower yet?
No, we haven't. We're trying to.
Okay.
In theory,
We're
all we have.
methodical. Methodical
Yeah.
it is.
In theory, we hit 8, and then we go hit 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we go upstairs.
I like it. Let's do it.
All right, so I'm gonna look for traps.
Okay.
I should find any traps moving in. Is the door locked?
It is not, and there are no traps in here.
I'm gonna expect. I mean, if this is another thing, I'm gonna expect this to be an area, I guess. So let me. This we have to roll surprise. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, everybody roll a d6.
I mean, as a player, I know it's coming, but 2 1s.
Oh shit! So Borman and so who all's going into 8?
I'm going.
I'm going. Knowing what happened last time, my character's like, I don't trust these rooms.
So is Malachi going in, or is he staying out?
Malachi will be one of the last to go in. I mean,
Okay. So
him
Borman
and
is
Alora are probably last.
Borman's
Yeah,
surprised,
okay.
and so Malachi doesn't need to roll. Looks like Mavis got a 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't clear my
Oh.
dice thing. I rolled physical dice and got a 3.
Okay, so Mavis is not surprised, and Dentry and Jackson, you're going into the room, I take it?
Yeah.
Which of you got the 2?
Dentry.
So Dentry is surprised. So Dentry and Borman, your 2 heavy hitters, are surprised. There
Which
is another statue. This one is different, though. This is an 8-foot tall wooden statue that looks vaguely like a leprechaun is standing in the alcove at the base of the stairs, and it immediately comes to life, and it is a wood golem.
Ooh.
Everybody roll initiative.
All right.
What did... Oops. Wrong. My brain kind of fizzled out there. What did Malachi get?
6. And Borman got 6.
And Alora?
1.
And Mavis?
1.
Oh, shit. Dentry?
3.
And Jackson?
5.
Okay, and I'm going to mark a asterisk next to you guys because, or next to Borman and Dentry because you are surprised. So, on the surprise round, you guys don't get to go. What does Malachi want to do?
Malachi doesn't know anything's going on, so he's just waiting to be told it's clear.
Okay.
Really.
And
Just
Borman...
stand next to the door. Oops, sorry. I'm just going to stand next to the door and listen.
Okay, so Borman is surprised. What does Jackson want to do?
Jackson was like, oh shit, time to kill something. You said it was what?
It's a wood golem. It's basically a 8-foot tall construct made of wood.
All right. Well, I'll come over here and hack you.
Leprechaun penis.
All right. Well, let me walk over and hacky slash at that then,
Okay.
because I'm familiar with woods. I know all about the woods.
I spend a lot of time with wood.
Sure do.
Oh man, there's just so
19.
many places we could go with this. So a
Can I
night.
decapitate a golem?
Night? Oh, that's right. And you're using the Vorpal?
Sure am.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
Wow, awesome.
But my question is, does that affect a construct? Let's take a look.
That was my question. Does beheading a construct actually affect it?
So it says,
It'd make it blind, you'd think.
some creatures with heads, constructs, elementals, are not killed by decapitation.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, Jackson impressively jumps up onto the bottom stairs, swings, and cuts this wooden leprechaun's head right off his body. And the golem is kind of flailing about, acting the fool, like, oh my god, my head, it's gone. Oh no.
But it's not dead.
It is
So should I
not
do
dead.
damage?
Yes, go ahead and roll your damage.
Son of a. Finally get to decapitate something and it doesn't die. Well, I did max damage though. Look at
Well,
that.
I guess it does die because you killed it in one swing. So yeah, it flails
All right.
about and is like reaching for where its head was, and then falls over and crashes to the floor.
That's
It was like one of
awesome.
those headshots where like you take the head, but like you do it in a way where it's like straight down the middle.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, yeah. You decapitate him at the ears.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch Spartacus when it was on?
Oh, I did not.
There was a scene where he's standing like right up on the guy, and he leans over and brings his sword up basically from his feet all the way up through his head and cuts his head in half at the neck straight up, and
Damn.
the front of his head just falls off. And
Ooh.
I remember seeing them like, holy shit, that's fucking cool. Like, the CGI doesn't hold up to what it would be, what it should be today. But yeah, I was like, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, you guys put down the wood golem. That's another 25. And in this room, of course, there was yet another table with chairs. On the table, there are a couple of bone dice and a pile of 350 silver pieces.
Do you want the bone dice, Dentry?
Yeah, I want these ones so we can play dice the next time.
Yeah.
Nah, man, we're using my dice this time. Yours are rigged.
Well, I am gonna rig mine, but you know they're not yet.
All right, Dentry, take some bone dice.
Okay. And then, of course, there are a set of stairs that go up to the second or to the next floor.
You know, we kind of want to clear this floor, I believe, first.
Yep.
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I'm gonna try to make sure there's no traps as I go.
Well,
into
first,
this.
Jackson wants to mock both Borman and Dentry for being completely caught off guard by something that I killed in one hit.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, he's never going to let those two live that down.
Like, scared were you, huh? Did you just shivering in your pants over there, huh?
So yeah, I'm gonna look for traps, and if there's not any, I'm, gonna try to walk into room 11.
Okay. So you do not find any traps, and the door is not locked. And these are two large double doors.
Let's open them both up.
Okay. So these two double doors, they don't swing open. They are pocket doors. For
Okay.
those of us that grew up in the 70s, that was the big thing. Oh, we're going to put a pocket door in the kitchen. Okay. Why did you put a wall around the kitchen anyway? But whatever. It was the 70s. And you step into a grand ballroom. Polished hardwood floors, cream plaster, wood beams. The ceiling is 20 feet. There is a mural on the ceiling that is painted to make it look like a night sky, and it is accurate. There is a stage in the southeast corner that's maybe a 1 foot riser stage, and there's polished brass and stained glass doors to the south that lead to a sunroom.
Okay, this is probably the ball area.
Yes, this is the ballroom, and then there are 2 side rooms on the east and west side, or northeast and northwest side of the rim.
We just need to clear this and make sure there's no people here, right?
So Borman kind of steps in and he's looking at this ballroom. One of your friendly guards opens up the front door and yells to you guys from across the entrance hall that the elves have arrived, and he's not sure what to do.
We're gonna go greet them. That's what we're gonna do, right?
Yeah, we should tell them what happened.
Yeah, let's go out to the elves. We'll follow them. Take us to them.
So he takes you out the front, and standing in the front, there is a retinue of 5 guards, elves dressed in their finest, polished armor and whatnot. And there are 2 elves that introduce themselves as Illimater Ularis. He is the delegate from the High Elves, from the Sylvanas Forest. And then there is a woman named Ashrin Vinthana, and she is the emissary of the Wood Elves. And what you guys... Wood Elves are kind of elusive. They are... there are some villages, usually high up in the trees, but for the most part, Wood Elves are not really seen by very many people. They might see you, you don't see them. And in some cases, there might be small wooded glens and whatnot that they protect and don't allow anybody to enter, and that can be a problem. But for the most part, you just don't have a whole lot of interaction with Wood Elves. They seem also to be slightly nomadic. While they might have a Wood Elf village, the people that live in that village are transient. They trade their houses back and forth as the Wood Elves journey from wood to wood.
I think we should just be honest and be like, we believe.
Would you like to see our doppelganger corpse?
So Ilmater kind of, I mean, the corpse is still laying there, and he looks it over and says that yes, that you are correct. That is a doppelganger. Well, it was unlikely that the elves would sign a treaty with the Empire anyways, and they were certainly not going to sign a treaty with any emperor who sends an assassin.
They had no intention of getting you to sign the treaty. You were brought here to be killed, and they were going to send a doppelganger in your place, and the doppelganger would have agreed to whatever they wanted you to agree on. We've in essence probably saved you from a most treacherous ambush.
He nods and he says, "Indeed, I think you did." Ashrin says, "I fear what will become of the Wood Elves should Emperor Belushin reassert his power over this entire region. The Wood Elves will not bend the knee."
So they show him the letter we found too about.
Yeah, we'll show
Maybe we know something.
We've got some art, Like, would you like to look at our images?
So Ilmater kind of looks that over, and he looks at the map and he says, He says, my scouts have told me that it appears that you have already cleared out Castle Braun.
Yes, that we have the deed to that, and we are going to install our own government on this place. And he'll point to Allura.
Eventually.
Yeah, yeah. She is going to reign over this place and be peace. And we will, I'm pretty sure she's got all kinds of goodwill to talk to you about. And I'll just kind of look at her like, hey, here you go.
I just have the image of Emperor Palpatine going, and at last there will be peace.
Yes. Awful lot of peace when everybody's dead. Ashrin she looks at Illimater and she says, I do not trust this Emperor Belution Cestus, nor do I like his kingdom. There's something about him that simply unnerves me.
Well, they use the undead to collect taxes. That should have been a
Pretty
sign.
creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, we killed the whites.
We can tell them that they killed 5 people in Braunhaven too in the city.
Yeah, yeah, we'll give
Yeah.
them a whole. Yeah, we're going to be forthcoming and honest about all that we've uncovered, right? We're
We're
trying
gonna
to.
There's a
talk
whole
all our
penis temple
shit,
down there.
Yeah.
and it'll get spread around to all the corners of the map by the elves. They'll spread the gossip for us.
Who are you guys using as your main face for the group?
Fuck Laura.
Probably.
So, Laura, you can make a let's see here. Is Laura human?
I think so. Yeah.
Laura, make a charisma ability check.
I rolled 1 lower than my charisma. Is
Yes.
that what I want?
Yes.
Okay.
What'd you get?
I got 13.
Okay. So, Alora kind of tells Ilmater and Ashrin, a bit about what you guys have been doing, and she tells them about what happened with Braunhaven. And Ilmater, he, for a high elf, and the thing to remember about high elves is that they can tend to be a little bit uppity, arrogant. They just basically act like they're better than everybody else. But he shows genuine concern. And, I mean, for a couple of reasons. So there is a long-standing verbal agreement. I wouldn't necessarily call it a treaty, although that is how the elves refer to it. But it is basically a handshake and a verbal agreement about the people from the town of Braunhaven not doing too much hunting or overlogging in the Sylvanas forest. There was bloodshed over that, and the agreement was that the elves are okay if they want to do some logging on the outskirts of the Sylvanas forest, but and even that's kind of loose as what is considered outskirts and going too deep. But the people of Braunhaven, for the last over 200 years, probably closer to 300 years, have maintained that agreement to the elves' satisfaction. And the elves have a capital city in Sylvanas Forest called Derswaddelek. And nobody other than the elves really honestly knows. Because if you get too deep into the Sylvanas Forest, it suddenly starts to become maze-like and very easy to get lost. And whether that is an enchantment or what, nobody really knows. But the elves have supposedly a city, and Ilmater, the first thing that Ilmater says that he is concerned for the people of Braunhaven because of this verbal treaty that we've got. He wants to make sure that the people of Braunhaven realize that the elves had no hand in this, and so he announces that immediately he and his guards are heading to the town to see what assistance that they can give to the town. And Ashrin, and this is, well, Alora you can make an intelligence ability check.
Rolled a 2, so I made it.
Okay, so Ashrin tells you that should you ever desire it in the future, you know, when times are say when times are easier for all of us. So, you know, not when there is a massive concern going on about the region. You are welcome to come to Derswadalek.
Oh,
And
cool.
but the thing about that is that Alora knows that Ashrin is a wood elf, and she doesn't really have the authority to give that kind of invitation.
Mm.
And
Okay.
and
That's
all of
nice.
you can, when she says this, you can all see Illimater kind of suddenly jerk his head and look at Ashrin like, what? He doesn't say anything, but the look on his face is like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Well, that's nice, but like we can't really go there probably unless we get
Said,
something else. Yeah, that was very nice though. It's generous.
And so they pack up their stuff and are immediately setting out. You know, it is now early morning. The sun is starting to come up. They are setting out for the town of Braunhaven to see what assistance they can give. They figure that they'll, if they really push it, they can probably be there by nightfall.
We need to rest, you guys.
Yeah,
It's really bad.
Yeah.
We'll catch up to you.
So we need to
Tell-
sleep.
Yeah, we need to sleep if
Yeah, we haven't slept.
Yeah,
We had a power nap.
we were busy saving your lives.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, that I mean, you've opened up the ballroom. You've probably
Yeah.
got let's see here. You've probably got another 2 hours before you guys are ready to absolutely collapse in need of rest.
All right. Well, I mean, then this is the ballroom. I don't really care about any of the, you know, I kind of know what we're gonna find. We're probably gonna find some spiked, or possibly find spiked or poison food or drink in here where they were gonna overtake us and fuck us up without a fight. But you know, is there? If we just kind of open the doors and look in, or is there anybody in like 9 or 10 or 12?
There isn't. 9 is a kitchen, but it looks like so there. I take that back. There is chefs and whatnot working in 9 in the kitchen, and you open the door and the chefs in there are frightened. They have basically the 2 chefs and a couple of wait staff are in here kind of hiding, and because they didn't have anything better to do, they just kind of put on a big pot of soup. There's a big brick oven and cast iron stove in here, and so they are in here kind of making soup because they don't want to draw attention to themselves. In 10, it is a smoking room, basically for you know, gentlemen and ladies that are tired of the ball and want a private area to sit and talk. There's a pipe stand, there's a bar with various liquors and a rack of tumblers, and there is a green felt billiards table in here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna tell the staff that, you know, we've the evil people in charge here are dead for the most
Yeah,
part.
the danger's gone.
Yeah, you can be cool. Have yourselves a good meal and rest well tonight, and in the morning you can travel with us.
Okay. So 12 is a sunroom, and it is just overgrown with tropical type plants and flowers, stuff that you wouldn't normally see in Braunhaven. But the floor of this room is like a dark flagstone, and then there is a brass and glass ceiling, 20-foot vaulted ceiling that allows the glass, of course, kind of magnifies the sun. And so this is a very humid room. And then there is a double door leading to the east out to the what would be like the back of the manor, and then a brass and stained glass door that leads out to the front of the manor as well. Aside from that, there is nothing else in here.
All
I
right.
think we go upstairs and check out the rooms upstairs. There's two big rooms that I think have value that we haven't shaken down too hard yet.
All right, we will.
None of those plants are of particular importance.
No, well, I mean, I don't know. Let's see.
Because
Not
Jackson's finding like nature.
yeah, no, it's
plants
just
hasn't
a.
seen before.
It's just a yeah. There's a bunch of plants in here that Jackson would have never seen before. But it is a cultivated garden of tropical plants and flowers. That Jackson would know that these are. He's never seen them in person. But he has known rangers that have traveled with the caravans on the Eastern Tradeway. These come from far, far to the east.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. Well, then, yeah, I guess we'll go up the stairs.
Okay, so second floor. Get rid of these. All right.
We can go up right there at 19. Right?
Yes, you can.
Sounds like a good way to go. Because our primary places that I really want to look into are 15, 16, and 17. I think we've been to 18.
I think we were in one of the 20s rooms. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, I believe 16 is going to be our big payday.
I hope so.
Well, that's just my guess because you know we've kind of poked around up here a little bit.
So you come up the stairs. This is the second floor of the west tower. There's a cast iron pot-bellied stove. There are several rows of bunk beds in here, and each of these, like two-tier bunk beds, each one has a foot locker at the foot of the beds.
We got to pop all the foot lockers real quick.
So none of them are locked. And hold on, let me. There is second floor. So yeah, none of them are locked. In here, you find in the various between all of the footlockers, you find that there are 225 gold pieces.
225 gold. Got it.
Yeah.
On here. Oops. And there is 900 silver pieces.
900 silver. Got it.
Hold on. There is 1,200 copper pieces.
No.
1,200 copper.
You also find in one corner there is a rack with a suit of full plate mail hanging on it, and it is quite shiny.
We think it's magical. Fucking with it.
You can make an
Poke at it.
Wear it.
You can make an intelligence ability check.
Oh well, let's see what Borman can do.
And Dantier's like, I'll just put it on. You know, it's cool. I'll do it.
Well, I'm 11, so let's see.
What'd you get?
8. I
Okay.
got 2 below my intelligence.
Okay, so yeah, this is, and I will tell you exactly what this does. It. My carcass crawler. My carcass crawler. Yeah, Dentry's probably going to want that. Weapons and armor. It is +1 full plate. And so its base AC is 1. But here's the problem with full plate. So full plate, it is perfectly interlocking plates of metal over a backing of chainmail and padding. A suit of full plate armor must be crafted on request and is tailored and balanced for a specific individual. Wearing another person's full plate armor is awkward and only grants AC of 3. So full plate armor normally has AC of 2. This is +1, which for the person that it was suited for would grant them a 1 AC base plus, or minus their dex modifier. This would, because whoever is wearing this is not, it's not tailored to them. It's +1 full plate, which will give you an AC of 2.
Can it be retailored?
Yeah, I would say so. Probably at the cost of 500 gold, you could get it retailored. Or if you have a blacksmith. If one of you have the secondary skill of blacksmith, you can spend some time.
+1, that goes on my list then.
Unless someone wants to wear it.
So if I'm an armorer, could I retailer it to myself?
Yes, you could. It would be It would be a downtime activity. I mean, over the course, it would take a couple of days.
Is that
probably the better part of a week.
You're recording it on your list then.
I mean,
if you're an armorer and you want to, I'm only reason if it's going in the bag of shit I got to deal with on stuff that needs to be fitted, then I do that.
No.
If it's
I'm gonna write it down.
There, it's on your character list. And it's your responsibility to remember that shit.
Yep.
+1 full plate. Got it.
Yeah.
To be tailored.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so once you spend the downtime retailoring this and adjusting it, it will give an AC of 1 minus your dexterity modifier,
which would put me at -1 then.
Yeah.
With the ring of protection and a shield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really fun having those low ACs that way too. I'm telling you, it's a blast.
Yeah, Dentry could be the ultimate tank, or close to it.
I mean, Borman's the super tank with between the decks and everything else. Borman's like, you can't touch.
Yeah, but the only downside is that it takes time for Borman to swap his armor out. I mean, literally to go from leather to breastplate, it's going to be like at least 1 turn.
Yeah,
Dentry wanting to put on his full plate, it's going to take probably 2 turns to get into that.
Yeah. Well, we've got it for the next downtime activity at least.
That is true.
Yeah. So I guess we're just gonna skip right over to 15.
Okay.
Looking for traps.
All right.
I probably found them.
You do not find any traps, but the door is locked.
Does our key ring unlock it?
In your skeleton key, indeed, unlocks it.
Then, gonna kind of.
So this room, this was somebody's bedroom. Polished hardwood floors. There is a royal blue area rug sitting in the center of the floor. There's white plaster and wood beams on a 10-foot vaulted ceiling. There is a queen-size 4-post bed sits on the east wall. There's an oak wardrobe on the west wall, and an 8-foot tall stone fireplace on the north wall. At the foot of the bed is a chest.
I'm checking the chest for traps, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna try the key. And was it unlocked?
It is locked.
All right, I want to try the keys, see if I unlock it.
All right. The keys do not fit.
Well, I'm gonna have to try to pick it. I rolled a 1.
Yeah, you make that look easy. And
Well,
so, in the chest, you find the first thing that you find on the top of the chest is a chapbook with sketches in it. And you find that this chapbook, and your assumption, of course, is that this was Nestor Falcius's room, the Imperial tax collector.
I was wrong. I thought 16 was going to be it.
The chapbook, it has sketches in it of the keys to Tacidentus's prison, and indeed, the keys are the hooked and looped scepter.
Going to go ahead and put that in our images and shit if you're going to have that.
And
whatever, we'll take that.
And there is, of course, there is also a sketch of a map that shows the secret cellar beneath the manor as well. Under the chapbook, there is a crossbow, and it is tooled. It's got filigree on it. It's a fancy crossbow.
Ooh.
I'm doing an intelligence check, I guess, on the crossbow.
Sure.
I'm so good at this with my 11. I still got under it with a 10.
Nice. Okay, so this is a +1 crossbow of speed.
What?
Plus one
So it is an enchanted crossbow which can fire with great rapidity. So crossbows normally have the reload rule, which means you can only fire them once every other round. This crossbow can be reloaded so rapidly that it may fire every round, like a regular bow. And it is a +1, so.
Hold on. That's the ranger shit.
Is it?
It could.
I think anybody can.
I mean,
use
is there anybody else who needs it? Because I mean,
I think the only person that can't use it would be Mavis, because crossbows are not a blunt weapon.
Oh, anybody can use a crossbow?
I believe so, yeah.
Then Malachi.
Kind of why crossbows were
Yeah,
created.
give it to Malachi for sure.
He needs a ranged weapon.
Yes, Malachi will take the +1 crossbow because he has a +1 dex anyway. So
That's what I was thinking. Give it to somebody who can make it actually useful.
And beneath that is a pile of coins.
Pile, you say?
yeah, Borman will look at Dentry and smile and get your notebook out.
Starting with 300 platinum pieces.
Woo!
300 platinum.
Oh, that is.
I'm so tempted to like switch out some of the copper just so that's actually in the real pile, not the bullshit pile.
1,200 gold pieces.
1,200 gold.
And I gotta keep up here. Ah, damn it. And 500 electrum pieces.
500 electrum. That is actually a good idea.
We need to secure all our shit in a good place before we go on our next adventure. We need to really. That's probably what we're going to do next, isn't it? Is find a safe place to stick all our shit. Are we taking over Braunhaven?
Yeah,
You mean the manor? The hunting manor?
sounds like. Is it?
No, I'm talking about the castle of Braunhaven.
The castle.
Castle Braun. We cleared it. We have a deed to it. I mean, yeah,
It'd be a lot easier to defend than the town. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
There are
My stance is until we have the means to actually do that, like we have the money to staff it and keep it protected afterwards, going there and saying it's ours just to then not be able to hold it makes no sense. That's what we did with the town. We're like, this is our town, and then we didn't have the means to actually put people there to like hold it.
Okay.
All we're gonna do is lose a castle instead.
That's a good point.
If
There
we leave it run
is
down until we have the money,
there
then
is
yeah.
2,500 silver pieces
2,500 silver, got it.
and
We have a
4,000 copper pieces.
we have a vault and a key to the vault that's very secure at Castle Braunhaven, though.
Said 4,000 copper.
4,000 copper.
Dump some
Got it.
stuff in there.
That's true. We could put our stuff in the vault and ask Spider Lady to guard the vault for us, and we'll bring her. And this way, anybody who comes to the vault, she can eat.
And we will send things down there on a regular basis if she just, talks to us on what she needs.
Like, yeah, what kind of diet are you into? We can make this happen for you.
Man, you like halflings, cows?
Well, there's a whole farm of gnomes just over the hill.
Man, yeah, man, we can work it out, dear.
And that's all that's in this room.
Nothing hidden.
Do we want to take the time to search this over anymore, or do we want to push forward? I mean, we're getting kind of late pushing for it.
So you already
Yes.
know that everything in 20 there's nothing there. Borman already
Yeah.
looted 14. So there's only 16,
Yeah.
17 and 18 on this floor.
So let's do 16 real quick. Rolling for the looking for traps.
There's no traps and the door is not locked.
Oh, well, then we're going to look inside and look
So
for traps.
16 is the servants' chambers.
Oh, not even going to waste any time going to 17.
Okay. 17.
They're servants' quarters. If I'm missing something there, I'm missing it. But I think, there's no traps.
There's no traps. The door's
No.
locked.
Oh, got to use the keys.
Yep. So you use the skeleton key and unlock it. Now this room is finely furnished as well. Polished hardwood floors. There's purple and black velvet wallpaper on the walls. There's gray plaster and wood beams on a 15-foot ceiling. A queen-size 4-post bed. And there's a large purple area rug sits in the middle of the floor. There's an 8-foot tall stone fireplace along the south wall, and there is a wood wardrobe on the east wall. And there's a wood desk that sits along the north wall east of the door.
I rolled a 2 looking for traps around the room,
Don't find any.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to look around in here real quick.
So, on the desk, you find a chapbook that this room belonged to Lady Bernadette. And this chapbook is filled with sketches of landscapes of a lush and verdant forest. And there are some sketches of a couple of people, humans, but there's never any description of who these people are.
Yeah, but we know who she's looking for.
Doesn't look like any description of anybody that you've ever heard of.
Right, but we know that she's looking for the heir.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, just judging by the shit we've done. But okay, cool.
And there is a leather sack under the desk.
Well, what's in the bag?
200 platinum pieces.
Haha.
Hold on here.
200 platinum. I like that.
And we've been at 18 too. You know that because we've gone in there. That's a other part of the tower. This clears the location.
We've been at 18?
Yeah, think so. We'll go check it out just to be sure. But I think we've been at 18.
There is 1,300 gold pieces.
Ooh,
1,300 gold.
On here. There is 1,000 silver pieces.
1,000 silver.
And 1,200 copper. Yeah, 1,200 copper pieces.
1,200 copper.
And a ring.
Roll your intelligence. Oh no, I have to, don't I? Because I'm the
Whoever's
one
digging
looking.
through the bag, yeah.
Yeah, that's me. We'll see. Rolled a 3.
Okay, so this ring. I need to look
It's
it
the
up.
thief ability in me. I'm good at figuring out shit's worth.
This is a ring of spell storing.
Ooh.
So it stores a number of magical spells that the wearer can release on command. The ring contains, and let me roll a dice. 6. The ring contains 6 spells. The spells can be triggered and recharged, but cannot be changed. There is a 20% chance of divine spells, otherwise they are arcane. Let's see. Arcane spells it is. The wearer of the ring knows which spells it contains. The wearer of the ring can trigger the spells at will, up to 1 spell per round. For spells whose effects vary by the level of the caster, the wearer of the ring is treated as a caster of the lowest level required to cast a spell. Once a spell is triggered, it may not be reused until it is recharged. The expired spell must be cast directly into the ring. And so, we need to fix the spells. And to do that, so we get, let's see, 2, 4, 6. So yeah, there are 6 of you. Each of your characters will get 1. So each of you will get 2 percentage rolls. So Borman, roll a percentage.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to write shit down. Clear. I'm gonna roll 2 percentage dice real quick, just to knock both mine out real quick. So it looks like a 28 and an 87.
So 28 is a 2nd level, and an 87 is a 5th level. So let's do 2nd level first. It is a spell of Detect Invisible. Duration 6 turns, 10 feet per level, so 20 feet. Invisible creatures or items in range are revealed to the caster.
All right. And then there's a 5th level spell.
And the 5th level...
I'm taking it these are magic user spells.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feeble Mind. Duration, permanent. Range, 240 feet. An arcane spellcaster, like a magic user or an elf, within range must save versus spells at a -4 penalty or become an imbecile, unable to think clearly or cast spells.
That's a pretty nice spell.
Cameron, make 2 percentage checks. A 33 is a 2nd level spell, which will be Blur. It is an illusionist spell. The caster's form becomes, it lasts for 1 turn. Range is the caster. The caster's form becomes blurry and wavering. Creatures attacking the caster suffer a -4 penalty to hit. This penalty is reduced to -2 on a creature's second or subsequent attempts to hit the caster. The caster gains a +1 bonus to saving throws against magic that directly targets them. And your next roll? 32, another second level. This one is Detect Magic. Duration 2 turns, range is 60 feet. Enchanted object, areas, or creatures are caused to glow. Both permanent and temporary enchantments are revealed.
This is a magic user spell or an illusionist?
Illusionist.
Okay.
And Brian, what's your first roll? 73 is a 4th level. Fourth level magic user spell. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Hold on, let me double check that. 4th level magic user spell. Yeah, okay. Mass Morph. Duration permanent. Range is 240 feet. A force of human-sized creatures within 240 feet diameter area is veiled by illusion to appear as a copse of trees or an orchard. Once the illusion is in place, even creatures moving among the veiled subjects are deceived. Subjects who leave the affected area cease to be veiled. The caster can dismiss the illusion in its entirety at any time.
All right.
It's not let you like move like a group of people as if they weren't like there. Or
Right,
just
yeah, they would
have
just
a group
appear
of
to be a
people.
group of trees. Nobody would know that there's an army sitting there.
Right on.
Ooh, that's great for sieging.
Yes. And your second percentage roll.
Oh, right. Sorry. I was like, second?
21 is a first level spell.
What, a magic user?
It is a first level illusionist spell. Color Spray. Duration instant. Range 20-foot long cone, 20 feet wide at the end. A flurry of clashing rainbow-hued colors erupts from the caster's hand. 1d6 creatures in the area are 1d6 creatures are targeted in the area of effect. The effect depends on the hit dice of each target relative to the caster. Hit dice less than or equal to the caster are knocked unconscious for 2d4 rounds. Creatures of 6 hit dice or greater may save versus spells. Hit dice up to 2 greater than the caster, save versus spells, or be blinded for 1d4 rounds. A blind creature cannot attack. Hit dice 3 or more greater than the caster, save versus spells, or be unable to move, attack, or make other actions for 1 round. Creatures that cannot see are not affected by the spell.
All right. There's some misspellings in my quick notes, but those are the spells in the roll chat there of the ring.
Nice.
There's a lot of magic user shit on there, but man,
but if it's stored in the ring, you can use it, right?
Yes, whoever's wearing the ring can cast a spell, but you can only cast it once, and you can't put other spells into the ring. You can recharge those spells if you can cast them into the ring, but these are going to be fire and forgets until you find some way to cast a spell into the ring.
So there you go, Laura. I think it's her turn, and that's something there. Yeah.
So that was everything in room 17. The only other room is 18.
Right. That's the guard room, I believe. But we're going to check it out real quick just to make sure that we've done it. You know, looking for the traps.
Okay. No traps.
4, yeah. And let's go in and look.
Yeah, door's not locked. And again, this is there's a cast iron potbelly stove. There's bunk beds. And the bunk beds have a footlocker at the base of each of them. And rummaging through them, you find 300 gold pieces.
300 gold.
Hold on here.
I had to
find another suit of armor.
They might have a weapon though. I mean, you know, it depends on if it's a symmetrical adventure or not.
There's 1,400 silver pieces.
1,400.
Yeah, this is a good day for experience.
On here.
Sorry about my terrible spelling, but at least it has the source on where all the spells came from.
And 2,000 copper pieces.
2,000 copper.
And there is on a rack a suit of chainmail in the corner.
Yeah, all right, I'll do it just because I've got to keep it until the streak goes. You know what I mean? Really. And I made it again with my 11 intelligence.
So
4 in a row.
unfortunately, this is just a regular suit of chainmail armor. There's nothing special about it.
And that's totally bullshit. The gods ought to intervene on that for me getting 4 in a row with an AC. With an 11 intelligence. But whatever. Gods fucking me chronically like a gift.
So there are, each of these towers does have their own rooftop tower. You quickly check these out. There is absolutely nothing up there. They are just guard towers. Arrow slits and an iron brazier that can be used as a signaling device or to help keep the whatever guards up there warm. But aside from that, there is absolutely nothing else up there because all of the guards were drawn to you guys when you went into the cellar.
So I think we should go into room 14, lock it down real good, and do our long rest with...
There's also, if you wanted to stash a bunch of loot, there is a 20-foot square space here that is a secret door that, so far, the only people that knew about it other than you guys are dead.
And if it's like it was fucking with the utensils, I believe, at the fireplace. Is that right?
Yes, you pulled on the wrought iron fire poker and it opened the secret door.
All right, well, cool. So so we can stash a bunch of shit in there. There's already some copper in there, I believe.
Yeah, you left the copper
So the
in there.
dude who was supposed to hold the party wasn't anywhere to be found?
No.
He was an imposter. We killed him. Right? Or he fled.
You did not get into a fight with the Duke.
Okay. Well, he's gone as far as I know. We'll stay in his room.
So anybody or any character that wants to can make an intelligence check. Or actually make a wisdom check. Roll under your wisdom score.
Ooh, I got a 4 on Gorman would probably do it.
Yeah.
The 15 on Malachi, probably not so much. Malachi is just looking at his dead shit.
No soup for Dentry. Well, wrong reference point, but Jackson definitely made the roll.
So Jackson got it. Borman got it. What did Cameron roll for Mavis and Laura?
Allura got 11, so she made it, and then Mavis rolled 17, so did not.
Okay. So Allura, Jackson, and Borman, the thought occurs to you that you know that the peasant that you killed was actually a doppelganger. Your guess is that that peasant did not make it out of the manor. That Bernadette likely killed him, and the Duke was actually the doppelganger and took the peasant's form.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Jeez.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I thought you said it was him when you did it when you announced.
Well, that's why I used his token.
Yeah. So Yeah, fuck them. I say we sleep right here and get our full rest in, and then immediately, maybe getting our shit moved.
Yeah,
What we got to move,
so
but we could definitely stash a lot of shit.
you guys can complete a full rest. You have completed the Nobleman's Manor. You get all your spell slots back. You can roll a d6 because you have Alora with you. Roll a d6 to get back any hit points. If you want to do any healing before you take a rest and use up those spell slots, that would probably be wise. I don't know how far down Dentry, Jackson, and Borman are, or they were usually your frontline fighters.
Borman was down 1. He got it back now after the full rest.
They're both down not much, so I'll take my chances with the D6 roll.
Okay, so yeah, you guys can roll a d6, add your con modifier to it, and that's how much you get back for rest.
Yeah, so both my guys got full.
You rolled a 2. Or rolled
I got 2 1s.
Yes, 2 1s. All right.
I mean, Dentry, that actually was enough. Let me see what Jackson needed. Oh, okay, cool. It was actually enough. They were both down only. Oh, right, because Dentry lost that whole level, so that's why he's like. That's why he's lower. Okay.
So I will allow you guys to take the next week to basically decide what you are stashing in the hole. And we can discuss that at the beginning of next week's game. But for this week, everybody gets 1,990 XP.
1,990. Thank you.
Hopefully that kicks Dentry and he gets his level back.
Does. Definitely does. He was less than 500 away from it.
Nice.
Woohoo!
All right. Anybody get a level?
I don't think so.
Alora is really close, but no.
Well, at least we got Dentry back to where he was before he got pimp slapped by the white.
Right? Damn white, yo.
Yeah, undead touch attacks, man. They in old school D&D, you did not want to deal with that. That was some scary shit. So we will pick this up next week at 12 o'clock on Saturday, and you guys can stash your loot and make your decision on where you're deciding to go next. It sounds like you're talking about traveling towards Zlatoheim in search of the looped scepter and information on more information on unlocking the extra dimensional space in Tassadantalus's tower, if I remember correctly. So
yeah, that's where my interest. I think that would be fun as shit to go get the other scepter. It takes us out of this little area here.
Oh yeah, the Skelos Mountains are going to be a whole other thing.
I think we ought to stash whatever we stash here and first shuttle shit down into the vault of the Braunhaven estate, and go try to kind of establish it as a place with the Black Widow can set up and
and hire retainers to kind of
care for the place and stuff.
There's going to be a lot of work because they're going to have to. There's going to need to be some renovation going on, and
sure,
there's going to be guys walking around going, "Job's done," and the sound of sawing and hammers in the background. So
That's fine, but I mean that's before we go take off. I think it's kind of a lateral move, and then there is a treasure map 5 that's local that I would like to take off my list before we go too far away.
yeah, you can try to search for or follow the treasure map locally, and see what you find there.
And then we've got treasure map 5 and a treasure map 8.
Well, those
That
are way off
Wow.
to the southeast. So
okay, so these are both to the southeast.
yes,
Pretty soon, but I mean those are big ticket items. That treasure map 8 is whew. I mean
yeah,
I gotta think that's one of those things where you fuck around and get a level.
maybe, yeah, or yeah. There's probably going to be some good loot in that.
Yeah. Would we be
Cool.
able to take a week of downtime
In the town, yes, you certainly could.
Mm.
right?
So
That
so
that
Dentry could,
allows
yeah, you could take a week of downtime, and Dentry could work on his armor, and
Mavis can get a level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
study the book.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
study the book.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean that those I guess those will be the things that we do during the week if possible is to go stash all our excess loot in the Braunhaven vault, make a bargain with the Black Widow spider of some sort,
Yeah.
and then go spend a week of downtime in Braunhaven.
Definitely. So we will pick this up next week at 12 o'clock on Saturday.
And
Yeah,
I
thanks.
need to thank you. It's fun. I need to make a spell. Is that
Yeah, you need to come up with a new spell, and that, of course, will go into the treatise on magic and spells as well.
Yeah, that's
So
that'll
give
be
that some thought.
interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
I will see you guys
Thank
next
you
week.
as always, sir.
Yes. Have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you throughout the week, of course, on Facebook.
All
Yeah,
right.
man.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Later.